Hello, hi, this is Julian again. Slight change of scene or clothing. Now we're on to part 6. We're going to demo some of the systems, and we're going to look at the Wix and Jobber, which are the key sort of operational systems and website. We're going to look at the marketing system, which is HighLevel, touch on Connect Team, and then QuickBooks, and these are all key systems. This first bit, we're going to really just look at the website to start with. Now, when we set off, we set up an account with Wix, which is this system here, and we used this. We bought a domain on GoDaddy, cozycleaners.co.uk. I've always bought domains there, though you can buy them in Wix and lots of other places. And GoDaddy, we put up a placeholder, just a one-page website, and then we built one in Wix, and this is the editor. And if you looked at our website, you'll recognize this. And this is the editor. There's a whole series of pages in this editor. Here we are on the home page. As you can see, there's lots of other pages here, and this also helps drive the menus. I'm only going to just really demonstrate this on the home page. And the way most of these editors work is it's made up of sections, and we've got all these sections here, which in turn are split up into columns, boxes, windows, whatever you want to call it. I started off with a template, to be honest, and you can see where we're down here. If we want to add a new section, we add a section. Is it AI generated, a design section, or just add elements? I'll just add elements, and we can add in all of these things. So is it going to be an image? Is it going to be a button? Lots of different button types, icon buttons, image buttons. You can see there's hundreds of these. Is it going to be a strip, box, a gallery to show pictures, a contact form, video, music, a list, and so on and so forth. So there are many, many options that you can choose from here, including from a sort of data-driven website, which is the CMS. And in fact, if I go to a CMS page, one of the dynamic pages, is that the one? We created one called, sorry, I messed up here. We created one called chemicals. Oh, here it is. If I pull up the chemicals page, this is a simple page where we've got a repeating set of the chemicals, and really we define one block of this block, and we say it repeats a number of times, and then this is linked here to the CMS, and this is the CMS, and there's a whole series of different pages, or each item, like the title, the image, is linked to a field in the CMS. And if I go to the CMS, like here, we've got multiple data sets that drive the website, one of them which is chemicals, and this is how you define it. If I add a new chemical on here, just list that here, and automatically appears on the website. So this is pretty good editor, and Squarespace, all of those other sort of web hosting companies have something very similar to this. You can make the changes, you can preview it, you can save it, and then eventually you can publish it. And this worked well. I think the reason we moved away from it was on the marketing piece, the email marketing used something called Omnisend, which is like a completely separate system, and certain things synchronized between it. And some of those synchronizations don't always work as well as you would like. And so we decided to move to GoHighLevel. I'll come back to some of these other features in Wix in a minute, but we went to GoHighLevel, which is very much a marketing system aimed at marketing agencies. And this is their interface for the website here. As you can see, the pages are shown as these graphics rather than as a list down the left-hand side. And if we edit a page, this will just take a few seconds to load up. We have a very similar sort of thing. So if we go down to a section and we add a new section, is it a strip or a section? Is it full width or partly width? I'll say full width. And then within that, we can add a row. I can add 3 columns into that. And then with each of these things, we can add an element. In a similar way, we have some global sections. We have section templates and things like buttons. social media icons, countdown timers, widgets, and so on and so forth. So, and elements, which is where we've got all the key things that we can add on here, like a button, a blog post, an FAQ, insert some code, navigation menus, etc. So it's a slightly different layout, but if you can use one, you can use the other. The reason we went with this, and I'll come back to it in a minute. I'll come back to Wix in a minute, but is that we wanted to use some of the other marketing components. And so if we go here to marketing, we've got email marketing, we've got a social media planner, we've got affiliate manager, brand boards, ad manager, all sorts of capabilities built completely within the tool rather than syncing to another one. Just going back to Wix, it also allows you to build your service catalog. These are all the things that you sell. So, if we have like weekly cleaning, we define that. We define it as this is the description. We have an image. How we pay for it, is it per session or does it have a subscription plan or whatever? And we have pricing. It can have locations, it can have staff allocated to it, and resources like some cleaning machine or something like that. And we have policies for the booking and so on and so forth. And so that's pretty good. There's also a calendar, a booking calendar, and we find the staff and what hours they work. This person here, Charlotte, this was a day when they couldn't work, or 3 days that they couldn't work. And each of these things is sort of, these are then the jobs that you book on. And if we look at a particular job, we can see that there we've got somebody called by Childs, and their address, and so on and so forth. And we can edit that, and we can also edit who's associated with it, and we can assign different staff members to it, and so on and so forth. And so this works pretty well. And on the website, whatever the website was, you could book a session. And so here we've got like booking, but in this case it goes to not the Wix system now, it goes to the Get Jobber system, which I'll come on to in a minute. So it has the catalog of items. It also allows you to do quotes and invoices. It also has a blog with all the blog posts on it, which works quite well. And it will also enable you to write these with AI if you want to, which can be quite effective. I did a combination of the two things. Nearly all of the images, like this one, were just generated within the blog post by the system. So, that can be quite effective. And a blog is the thing that you want because your services and your company information doesn't change every day or every week. And really to have a dynamic website that is constantly changing, adding new content, helps it from a search engine optimization perspective, SEO. And so the way to do that is a blog, and we have different categories. And on the website, under the About Us, we've put the blog, and here's the way the blog looks. This has also got all of our contacts in there, so it's active. Wix had a CRM system, which shows you, so if you pick up a person, if I just pick myself up here as a test, and I view that person, you get a good view of that person, what's happened in terms of the activity, the inbox and communications, any orders, notes about them, any bookings for jobs. There's none for me. This is a test item. Any invoices and orders that have been sent, and there's also a loyalty program. And one of the nice things from a marketing perspective, also got Google Ads and Facebook ads you can use here, or you can go direct into those programs. And it's also got a whole bunch of automations, which is pretty powerful, which are steps that the system, for instance, email a customer, if a form. Who submitted a form, right? So if I look at this one and edit that, it's probably a very simple workflow, which just has 2 steps: a trigger when something happens in the system, and then the action here is to send an email, and here's the details about that, and here's the email, which you can then edit, and there's an editor for setting up emails, and which is pretty good. And you can add in personalized fields. I haven't actually got any there, but you can add in personalized fields. So it says Dear Julian or something like that. So Wix is a pretty powerful system, but for various reasons, we decided to move, as I mentioned, to GoHighLevel predominantly for the website. But this also has built-in calendars. So you can see some bookings here. These are actually all interviews rather than jobs. It has all of our contacts that are stored in here. It also has all the conversations. So whether they're on text or email, they all come into this one place. And it's also got we haven't done much with this yet because we're still building up, but it's got quite sophisticated marketing automations, again, very similar to what we've seen in Wix. And you can add, if you say I want to add something, you've got a lot of different triggers and actions, like sending emails in particular, that you can do. So you can build the site, you've got a membership system, you can store content. It's also got a reputation management. This is linked to our Google business profile and the reviews that we get there, so it keeps track of that. And when we get reviews, we can send emails and so on and so forth. And it will also, as will Wix, take payments. I should have mentioned that. These are all, we don't actually use this for the payments, but it can take payments if you want to sell stuff. It also has an e-commerce store, so we can sell cleaning products and things like that. So this is a pretty powerful system. This is our plan, is to use this at the moment. They'll talk about Jobber later, and that may change somewhat. So really, from the website is the core of any marketing strategy, because any campaigns that you do will drive traffic to the website. So, all of these, Wix, Squarespace can do the job, but and GoDaddy, I should say, I evaluated these products in a reasonable amount of detail and definitely found, to my opinion, that the more sophisticated and more options available was in Wix to start with. So as a starting point for a cheap option, it's probably £10-15 a month. Something like Wix is the way to go. Even GoHighLevel is nearer $100 a month, and you need to use all of its capability to really sort of make it worthwhile. So that's not an in-depth tour of the systems, but I think it should just give you a little bit of an overview. There's really two levels there that you can operate at. Wix, I think, is a really great starting point, and then GoHighLevel can add some additional capabilities. So I hope that was a useful overview. Thank you.